Good evening and welcome. Chris Upton live in the house. Oh, well, what are we going to talk about tonight? What should we talk about? Okay, Kieran Evans, first in the house. Good evening. Absolutely loving the whole banter and the competition. Well done. All some really good quality standard dogs. I agree. There's some good quality dogs in there, isn't there? There's a bit of competition. Nothing wrong with a bit of rivalry. Simon Spruce, good evening. John Griffins, good evening. Robert Jeffrey, good evening. Ian Gore, good evening. Adam Hudson, good evening. Steve Pace, good evening. Chris Defoe, good evening. Michael McLaughlin, good evening. Denver Skinner, good evening. Pierre's in the house. Good evening. Graham Allison, Paul Jarvis, Andy Stead's in the house. James Townsend, Peter Taylor, Peter Piper, Picture Pepper. Okay. So, what would you like to talk about? Feel free, crack on. No side effects. I had me jab today. Us 59-year-olds, I had me jab lined up. Plymouth Argyle. Went into Plymouth Argyle. I thought they were going to sign me. It was quite emotional, actually, everybody, because I never seen so many helpers and the people who've put the time out and volunteers. And it was run like a military fashion setup. And I was in within 20 minutes and out again. AstraZeneca, they say, do they? Is that the one I had? Astra, I know it's something to Astra. I thought they put me on the AstroTurf for a game of football. I did have a question, but I forgot. Hopefully it come back. There you go, James Townsend. There you go. You got an hour. We're on here for an hour. I had mine yesterday and had a temperature and banging headache. Well, are you not supposed to have it if you've already had the virus? I thought you had the virus. Oh, you can still have it, can you? So you had a banging headache. I had mine yesterday and had a temperature and banging headache last night. I'm feeling absolutely fine. No side effects at all at the moment. Touch wood. Probably tomorrow I'll be crying. So how many entries did we have? I think we had over 50 entries in the end with everyone else who came in, who I didn't see on the list, and then we've had some people pull out. There's a good entry fee to the virtual test, and there's some competition there, isn't there? I've had people giving advice. I've had people question my judgment. Honestly, it would be frowned upon in a proper test if you started questioning the judge and his decisions. But what did I say to you? It's a fun situation, but then it gets serious, doesn't it? Especially for the ones at the top there with good scores. But like I said to you, I explained to you, John Archer's in the house, Paul Jarvis, John Archer, yeah. Hour and a half, me and John talked about it. I had to talk him down off the ledge. He was thinking about jumping. He was standing on a doll's house. He wanted to crush his grapes. Was you really on the phone to Mr. Archer for an hour and a half? Well, nearly. Yeah, nearly. I'm not joking. He's funny, isn't he? He's so funny, John. I love him. He's such a character. I'm sorry to hear your loss, Andy. Yeah. Charlie Tango's mentioned that. I'd just like to thank you to all the nice people who sent condolences of the loss of a young dog. Yeah. So, like I say, the competition got rather, and John said, "Well, it's my own fault then. I'm to blame." I said, "No. It's all a learning curve for everybody. Very exciting and motivating as well. Really got me wanted to get out and have the best dog. It's a bit of fun until the points started." There you go, Michael. See there, the little devil comes out. And I tell you what, Michael, you would have been bang in there because you put your dog over a jump up over a bank, didn't you? No, it wasn't Michael. That was somebody else. It wasn't Michael. No, your dog did all right, Michael. Your dog did all right. Adam, it was. But when he sent the dog back, he stopped and looked back at him. He had to handle him back. If you start handling the dog, then I've got to Can't wait for the cigars from Cuba. Exactly. That's it. That field test secretary, he knows when to disappear, doesn't he? Eh? He knows when to disappear, innit? When everyone's firing questions at me, I'm the judge. You can't question the judge. Of course you can. That's what it's about, learning. Hope you're doing well, Charlie. Hope you're doing well. Jordan, good evening. Oh, my nearly 8-month Springer is doing really well with retrieving and training, but if he picks the dummy up wrong way, he runs a massive circle around me. Advice, please. If he picks the dummy up the wrong way, what do you mean, Jordan? Picks it up the wrong way? Picks it up like that? I can't do a demonstration of it, can I? Oh, can it? You mean he picks it up like that and not like that? Is that what you mean? David Jones says, I didn't realize it was so serious. I grabbed a couple of dummies and just went out in the backfield. We'll try harder next time. We've had some laughs about it, haven't we? We've had some laughs about it. We've had some funny comments as well, haven't we? I think Jay from America was really, really good about it. His dog made a noise. I said, I'm sorry, you get no points for that. And he took it on the chin, and that's where it's got to be. You've got to learn to cope with failure. You've got to learn to. But guess what? You're a few points behind some of you. The next test, they may struggle. You may get it better. And the problem is with a virtual test, like I said in that jokey thing on Corleone Talk, I want everyone to go out with a tape measure and measure how far you've gone and give me the measurements. Why? Because then I can make sure that I score you right. But if someone on camera looks like they've not gone out very far and they've not really tested the dog, I'm going to have to mark you down a little bit, because the way I look at it is we got 25 for that test, and I've been asked to score them out of 25. So 20 is a good clean run. If you got close to 20, that means your dog did very well. If you're in the 10s and 15s, it means your dog didn't do very well or something went wrong. Simple as that. Can I nobble Gary? Yeah, Adam. Yeah. I mean, it's like Soul. He wants to run it like it's a knockout, and he wants everybody to have a wild card. So if someone's in the lead, you can nobble them. I just think it gets a little bit complicated. And then what if someone throws the toy out the pram? Not everybody's got a sense of humor. Some people can laugh it off if they get 19 points instead of 22. The dogs that actually got the higher scores were either they pushed the dog further than the other people did, or the dog went out with such pace and drive. And I didn't set the test, but I gave advice. But that's down to the test secretary. No, I'm not passing the buck. But at the end of the day, he said a minimum of the distance. If you want to add to it and take that chance. But listen, everybody, anybody who is on camera and walks off into a woods with their dog and does the test in the woods and comes back out the woods, I can't see what's going on. How can I score that? It may have been fantastic in the woods, but if you're outside the woods when you call the dog back to you, I don't know if it's moved. So you've got to keep the dog in sight. Jesus Christ, honestly, it gets more difficult. And let's be honest, you can't punish a dog in a working test. And so by grabbing hold of a dog by the scruff because you're not happy with it, you can't do it. John Archer's in the house, everyone. Should we have a rundown with him? Should we actually contact him and should he explain what happened? Do you want to listen to that, everybody? Honestly, the story will be brilliant. The story will be brilliant. The nice thing is with the working test, the virtual test, you can go and practice it 3 or 4 times, and then you can put up your best video, can't you? So there was 2 golden rules, really. If your dog make a noise, you're going to get nil point, no points. And if your dog drops the dummy, you're going to get nil point. So don't send me a video of your dog dropping the dummy. Don't send me a video of the dog making a noise. And then Jay got it dead right. Next time I'll turn the volume down. I can only judge what I can see. I couldn't hear it, could I, if you turn the volume down? I'd say he did that silently. He handled the dog with just movement of his hand. It's not perfect, a virtual test, everybody, is it? It's bloody... It's... I haven't got...
You can have as many goes as you feel like.
Yeah, you can have as many goes as you like. As long as you put one video up showing me your dog, I'll judge you on that. I won't judge you on the ones you told me it failed completely or it did really well, but you didn't video that one.
Yeah, real test. You got one chance. That's it.
Robert Jeffy says 3 or 4 times. I practice 25 times a day. Still can't get it right. But that's the fun of it, isn't it, everybody? If everybody's looking at everybody else's standard, it gives you a standard to work to, doesn't it? And like Paul Jarvis said, it's just a bit of fun. You'd be surprised, Paul. You'll be surprised. That's John Archer.
It started out.
He started off with that. John Archer said it's not the winning, it's taking part. It's finishing that really matters. Now he's a competition animal. Competition animal. I tell you what, you can't find him, I tell you. They ring me out the blue and they go, "What are you doing, Chris?"
Good evening.
Good evening. Could I talk to the test king, please?
I'm sorry, he's speaking to his agent.
His agent.
Yes.
Everybody found it absolutely hilarious, John. How long were you on the phone with me for, sir?
When?
Last night.
Oh, half an hour or so?
Half an hour?
Well, perhaps a bit more.
Perhaps an hour and a half?
I wasn't clock watching.
So what did you learn from discussing your... Imagine everybody, John, came on the phone to me. And we got 46 people or something like that. Yesterday, I had message after message after message about how did my dog go? What did my dog do? It's there for everyone to see. What did you learn from your first test, John? Your first discipline in the test?
Don't let your dog run up a tram line on a field.
Right. But other than that, did I say the dog went well?
Yes, but I didn't think she did.
Eh?
I didn't think she did.
Well, what are you worried about the score then for?
Because I thought it was better than that.
See what I got to deal with.
I was obviously wrong again.
But how many points did I give you, John?
19.
19, everybody. Did you hear that? I gave him 19. And a 20 is a clean run. But if you're going to use the track that you've been sending up and down for quite a while, and I see it, some of them people sent the dogs in thick cover or tussocky grass, or they threw the dummy into thick cover and walked the dog back, sat the dog up, walked the dog back, and went back quite a way, and then sent the dog. And the dog went out with drive, come back with drive, and then went out with drive. At the end of the day, it's not easy to score when you are judging a virtual test and everybody is actually doing it in different ground conditions, different environment, because at the end of the day, each one's going to be different. So I have to look at all aspects. And that's why we were trying to give you some input into why I scored the way I scored. And
yeah. I looked at all the videos, and I thought,
everybody's.
How on earth are you going to split that? How can you possibly split them? Because there were so many that were alike. That was before I realised that I sent the dog up a tractor line.
Yeah.
You know, it was. It's not an easy task, I don't suppose. Having said that, the 2 runs that scored high were beautiful runs. They were really good runs.
Yeah.
And Kieran's run was a really good when he threw it into cover
Over a bank.
Well, I mean, it looked to me like it was just briars, but
right.
I mean, the camera can be deceiving.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a sort of a little bank, and then on the top of it was it looked like quite thick cover. I don't know what it was like where the dummy landed, but
yeah,
it looked quite thick, and that looked to me like to be a good run, you know.
But I guarantee anybody who loses 2 or 3 points is going to be high up in the test at the end of the day. But because it's been mixed, there's going to be a couple of harder ones that the novice people aren't going to get easy. But yeah. we don't worry if they do it close, because they get the experience. It's the ones that are really confident that they can push the dog a little bit further. Now, I didn't say, I didn't set the rules. So if Sol had said, well, you've got to do exactly what I tell you, but if you add to it, you'll get more score. I think he said, if you want to make it more difficult, then you'll be scored appropriately. So I can only score what I see. The problem is, if I think Daniel Quinn did what Sol asked him and then threw one to the left and one to the right, and I thought, what the hell are you doing? And then he went, leave.
He was offering distraction.
Yeah, and he went, leave that, get out, and the dog went straight out. So I thought I can only give him a good score because the dog went out with drive, it came back with drive, it gave a good retrieve, and it didn't go for the two dummies that he gave an extra distraction. So you know, I mean, would he have got that score if he'd not put one out to the left and to the right? No. But at the end of the day, perhaps the next tests, you know, people may add loads of other things to it and really confuse the shite out of me.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, somebody might do it naked. I mean, I'm going to score high if someone does it naked.
I'm there, but I suspect. I mean, you've seen me with me belt.
Yeah, but you could go bareback. You could go bareback.
I suspect I'm going to get knocked for that as well.
I mean, you could get thrown out of the competition if you turn around, but you could go bareback.
Oh dear! I might put a pair of chaps on so you can just see me bare ass.
Yeah, just your bare ass. I mean, Steve Pace says, you know what these bent judges are like down in sunny Cornwall, John?
Yeah.
What are you suggesting? That I'm gay?
Oh dear.
Please, John, please keep your clothes on.
I mean, when I initially saw the test...
See, Michael McLaughlin says next time his dog's going to run backwards. Now, that's going to be impressive.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Peter Taylor said he was over the moon with 18 when I saw it.
Well, if you think about it, Peter Taylor, I know why you're over the moon, because you've got 18. You've got a young dog, but he went out and he did slightly a dog leg. So you would have had 20 if he'd done a straight line, but he did slightly a dog leg and then came into the wind, but you trusted him. And he went well for a young dog. You didn't overdo it, but you got 18 because he went on a slight dog leg. And I can only judge what I can see on the video. But I thought it was great, and it was enjoyable talking to John last night because he's learning, and so he wants to learn. But I may have been wrong, but the night before he just sent me a message, all right? And I went, yeah. And he went something else, like dead short message, went, yeah. And I think he was waiting for me to say something about his run, and I didn't. Am I right or not?
I tell you what, you've got the senses of a shithouse rat, Chris.
So I played him a little bit, and so he had to go 2 days before he could freaking phone me, and he rung me, and so that's when we had a chat. But he can't be watching my videos, everyone, because I told that story, didn't I, where I ran him his first trial.
I did, yeah.
Well, you saw that, and then the judge said, because I phoned him up and asked him, why did you decide to put my dog out when someone else said, he said you were whinging about him. I wasn't whinging, I was trying to learn. But if you don't ask these questions, and that's why I brought John on, if you don't ask the questions, then you don't learn, do you? You don't learn. I think that a few people had better dogs than they thought they did, but they just didn't want to get it wrong, so they perhaps didn't push the dogs to much of a distance. I think sometimes you've got to trust your dog a little bit, especially with a retrieve like that, because it was quite simple if you think about it, if you got your training right. But I've got to say the standard is quite high. The standard is quite high. So well done to all of you. You know, you want to take. You're in a nice group of people who've got an understanding. I've been to tests before, and dogs have just, I've had to say, sorry, you've had 15 minutes to try and get that. Put the dog on the lead, please, and they don't like it, and they try to move forward and everything. So there was some, and like I said, I thought the Border Terriers really did well. He did, and I might have given him a couple of points for a Border Terrier compared to a Spaniel. That's judge's discretion, But I thought he did really bloody well, and so it's down to the judge on the day, and he's got to stand there and say, well, I judged fairly and I judged honestly. And I judged it to make it a fun day, but also I'm not doing it just to. If someone was way ahead of the other people, they would be. But if you think about it, everybody, I think over half of you were got 20 or more. So the people who are on 18 or 19 or even 17, you're not far off it, really, if you think about it, of coming back into the pack. And I guarantee someone's going to mess up on something later on, or unless you go out and work at night with a candle. Because
I have been out. With the candle. I tell you what, you're in for some fun with the next video.
Someone's going to send infrared, and it's going to be a fox going across the field. I go, Jesus Christ, that dog went well, didn't it? Couldn't even see from a distance. It was a fox. Just think, Chris. I've basically trained all those dogs. Your videos, at least. Well, you've got to say my videos must have helped people. But isn't it nice that there's a group of people all having fun because of the lockdown? What we've got, you've joined into the virtual test. You've not had to pay to enter it. It's all free for everybody. And at the end of the day, it's a little bit of a education thing. It's your first test. If some of you have said, I've never been on a test before, it's a learning curve for you. And you'll learn, because we'll actually critique some of the videos and show where people went really well and show where people struggled at a later stage. So well done, everyone. And thanks for that, John, for coming on. And anything else you want to tell everyone about? Do you want to, any stories you want to crack off to, or you want to ask me any questions?
Yeah, I can do. It's these sort of exercises I was doing when she was 9, 10, 11 months old.
John, get your hand off the phone. You've gone muffled.
Oh, right.
There you go, John.
Say again.
That's better. Go on.
Oh, right, yeah. So I was doing these sort of exercises when she was 9, 10 months old, and I haven't done it for, I don't know, maybe 18 months, something like that. But I thought it's a relatively simple test, relatively simple task. All I've got to do is sit the dog up, throw the dummy out, walk away 50, 60 yards, whatever it is, call the dog in, send the dog out. Everybody knows what the test is. So I first up, set her up to the dummy out. She was solid, turned around, walked away 50, 60 yards, turned around to see the fucking dog at heel.
There he goes, everyone. He's being honest. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? It just shows you've not practiced it for a while. Things go wrong. Wheels fall off the wagon, like, you know.
Oh, it did. But she was sly about it because I didn't know she was there until I turned round. I got no idea she was there. Now, normally, if I'm walking up the field and she's walking at heel, she's in front of me trying to hunt and things like that, if you know what I mean. But she stayed behind me, and I turned round, and she was literally sat at heel. She followed. She turned round with me and sat it, and I'm thinking, oh, God, this is going to be fun. But you know, and she got it in the end.
Daniel says, agreed with the above statement, Kieran. All because of Chris. The standard we've got is amazing. One man band smashing it. The thing is, Daniel, people can throw dummies, and tests and trials are completely different. Shooting over dogs is completely different to throwing dummies, but it is a stepping stone. And I think that if you get your training good in the field, at a bare field, and then you start to move onto the shoots and go beating, your dog Adams looked a little bit naive, Daniel, because it was flushing and not watching the birds, because a dog that had been shot over would be watching the birds. Your dog was focused on you, Daniel, you little bitch. So in that situation, she was immature and naive. But in the test scenario, you can see you've done your groundwork, you've put your work in, and so that's a credit to you. And it's like anything, unless you put yourself in that position. I have played with professional footballers, ex-professional footballers. They can hold you off the ball and manhandle you like as if you don't know what to do, because they know how to protect the ball. But that's because they were professionals. The difference is I played Sunday League and I went up the ranks of playing football, but I was never good enough to get to any high level. But when I played against ex-professionals, and we were talking about, I was a youth of 20, and they were in their 50s, they could still hold you off with a ball. They didn't have the fitness, but they could hold you off with a ball. You had the enthusiasm, but they had the skill. And that's the difference between someone who's shot over dogs for a long time, and they can read the situation. So when I'm looking at dogs in a trial, that's a different situation than a test. We're not looking to put anybody out, really. We're looking for the best dog on the day. But at the end of the day, there has to be some ground rules, because if you haven't and everyone's dropping the dummy, if you start giving one person 2 points for dropping the dummy and the other person 4 points, somebody starts moaning then, going, well, you give him 2 points and he dropped the dummy. Yeah, but he nearly had it out of the dog's mouth and you didn't. You know, it gets a bit silly. So the best thing is to make it black and white. If you drop the dummy, if you put up a video and send it to me, you know the rules. Ne point. Okay, John, you know what that means, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I watched Simpson Knockouts as well. Yeah,
and what we want to do is we want to do a little bit of fun bit at the end, and we'll see who's more reserved than the others. Because if you're desperate to win it, you might take yourself to extremeness for your fancy dress. And I cannot wait for John Archer. You have 25 points to find.
Just notch me up for 25 points on the fancy dress bit.
And that'll take him right to the limit to give you the full extent.
That's it.
But he's keeping his powder dry until that day to tell you what he's doing. Or are you going to give him a little hint, John, what you're doing?
Well, I'll be running another dog. The one I've got's obviously not going to be any good in the fancy dress. So I'll be running Bangladeshi Bob.
There you go, everyone. Can't wait, Sue says. She can't wait. Cheers, John. Take it easy, boy. Nice talking to you.
Bye, buddy.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Michael McLaughlin said, it's a bit of fun until the points started.
Yeah, exactly. That's it, isn't it? It's funny how competition suddenly steps up. Yeah. Well, imagine it was for £100 for first prize. Imagine the competition that would cater for, because there isn't tests out there in the Kennel Club that give £100 first prize for a test. Just imagine we put up a good prize. We're not telling you what the prize is at the moment. We keep winding people up. It may just be a mug shot of me. But that's what it's about. It's about having fun. It's about enjoying it and having a bit of banter with everyone, especially with the lockdown. I think we've probably got 3 more weeks of the lockdown before everyone goes back to work. I mean, some of you are already at work, aren't you? Small love racing circles. Sorry to be late. Too many Cuba. Can't find. I don't think he's got good reception in Cuba. So I think he's not on here tonight. He hasn't got good reception, or he just doesn't want to face the music. Because sometimes you just got to face the music when it all goes tits up. So any questions about dog training? If you've got questions about dog training, put your questions up and we'll start answering them now. Anybody got any questions at all about training?
One about kennels. I don't know whether you've answered it. But
go on then. Yeah, I think Wi-Fi is there, and Sol loves those old Cuban cars. You know, those that you can fix them with a matchbox. And
Brian Johnson said, "Evening, Chris. Can you give us all capital letters some tips for test 2? ?
I have no idea, Brian Johnson, what test 2 is. I've not even looked. I think Sol actually did a video on it in Corleone Talk and tells you what it's to do with. I haven't had time to look at it. I've been so busy. We've had major changes here. We're going through major changes at the moment. I'm having a sex change. Sue's divorcing me. The people across the house keep coming across and saying, we got this problem, we got that problem. I said, too late, you bought it. No. We've been helping them because the estate agent got things wrong, so we've been helping them. It's all go here at the moment. Although I haven't got any customers coming in on the calendar, I've got dogs in for training. I've got videos to go up. There's some lovely videos to go up. I meant to do them today, but I've been busy. Like I say, I went off and had my jab, and then I've been looking at vehicles and dealing with garages and stuff like that. So it's been a very, very busy day. We raced home, raced out, raced back, raced some tea down on next. And before you know it, it was live feed time. I haven't even had a chance to eat me pavlova. That's
John's got a question.
John who?
Archer.
John Archer's already. He could have asked me on the freaking phone.
Yeah, but he's quite clever, really. How do you stop a dog turning towards a throwing dummy whilst on a retrieve. You'll have to watch the video.
Yeah, I think I have seen Sol's test too. Yeah, I think I have. I think what he does, he throws out a dummy. It's nice and simple. Send your dog for it. On the way back, he gives you a distraction. Now, anybody who's novice-y, don't throw it right over the dog's head, across the dog's nose. You know, throw it to the left. As long as you get it, you'll get points. But I'll knock you if you throw it away from the dog rather than right across the dog. If you trickle it under its nose and it doesn't, it can look at it, but it's got to come straight back in with that one, give it to you, and then send it back out for the next one. So you can, the real test is to put the dog under real pressure, right? And the closer you throw it to the dog, the more points you're going to get. But like I said, if it's a clean run with a reasonable distance, you're going to be in the sort of 20s. If there's added extra to it, a bit more temptation, then you're going to be climbing up those extra 5 points. So if you want to win it and you're 18 points or 20 points, you've got to gamble. You've got to really push the dog to the next level. But if you're already there, close to the winning dogs, you could take it easy and just make sure you get a clean run. Because I guarantee normally if you get most of your tests 20 or 20 plus, you're going to be bang in there when it comes to the last 5 dogs standing. And that's what, you know, if we've got 4 dogs. I mean, I think Kieran said he was joint second. He actually wasn't, was he? Because there was 2 dogs on 25, I think. And then Kieran on 24 or 23, whatever, with Daniel. So they were actually fighting it out for 3rd and 4th, because the first 2 was 1st and 2nd, but they were evens. So they were even. So we had 1 lot on 25 and 1 lot on 24, I think. My male is 8 months old now and starting to chase birds. Is that okay, or must I call him back? Where do you find these birds to chase? Can I come and train with you, Denver? Could do with some birds to chase. I personally wouldn't have an 8-month-old dog chasing birds. Are you talking about songbirds? Are you talking about pheasants? Tracy Dodds, virtual test is great fun. Loving the banter and some cracking little dogs. Yeah, exactly, Tracy. And that's what it's about. And some of you girls are really getting into it and having a bit of a laugh with the lads as well. And I think that's really great. That's really great fun. And at the end of the day, don't take it to heart. You know, learn from it and enjoy it. Enjoy being with the pigeons on the field. Oh, don't worry about pigeons on the field. Pigeons take off. I've never seen a dog catch a pigeon very often. Not unless it's a lurcher. Remember that Dick Dastardly, catch a pigeon. See what Sue says? See Sue in the background? She's now become an expert dog trainer. Never trained a dog in her bloody life, but now she's become an expert dog trainer. Do you know what she said, Denver? Blow the bloody whistle when the bird takes off. It's 8 months old. He hasn't put the stop on it yet, Susan, I don't think. I may be wrong. Susan may be right. She's been right nearly every day this week.
Nah.
Well, she thinks she is anyway.
Michael McLaughlin said, throw the second dummy early.
Yeah, as the dog's going out.
Adam Nelson says, I'm doing test 2 in the dark and videoing it through the thermal.
Yeah, wouldn't that be brilliant? Wouldn't that be brilliant, everybody, eh? And you know, let's score that one, shall we? My terrier used to catch him out the coop, little bastard. Yeah, exactly, in a coop, but going around the field. I don't very often worry about too much about, you know, young dog chasing pigeons. If anything, it would just G it up a little bit. I won't worry too much about that. So Denver says, no, he's not put the stop on the dog yet, Susan. So Susan, shut up. Okay, everybody, I told Susan to shut up.
Yes, master.
See, yes, master. Do you know what? If her name was Megan, if her name was Megan, my name would be shit. It would be, is it because I'm black?
No, you'd be under me thumb.
See, I'd be under a thumb, see. That's what she says.
Peter Taylor, Harley flushed a fox on Monday from some thick cover. Glad it didn't stand off him. He would have cracked himself.
Yeah, do you know, I was out with a bitch of mine, a winning bitch. I'd won with her, and we were out onto a thick wood, and up this ride, a bit like where John Archer sent his freaking dog for a retrieve, you know, trying to freaking make it easy. There was a dog fox, great big dog fox, nearly twice the size of the bitch. And it could have easily just turned around and sodded off. And it come running at us screaming with that horrible sound that they make at us. I barreled it and killed it within 10 feet and it dropped it. So anyway, I bunged the dog fox. I thought, oh, a lovely, beautiful dog fox. Anyway, I bunged it into the edge. And I thought, oh, I'll take the tail. So I took the tail and went up to the manor that I was on in this. He let me shoot. And I said to him, you'd never guess what happened. I had a dog fox come running at me, screaming. I said, it could have turned and just gone the other way. For some reason, it come at me. And I thought for my dog for a second. So anyway, I shot it. He said, oh, don't shoot the foxes. He said, they want them for the huntsmen when they come through with the horses. Ooh, it's too late. He's not going nowhere, that fox. But being a townie, having a fox charging at you, you just got to step up to the plate, don't you? Just step up to the plate. My old lurcher caught a donkey once. Sorry, Steve. My old lurcher caught a donkey. He was raving lunatic. Well, he always tells a story. Sue said on Blackpool Sands.
Beach.
Blackpool Sands. It's a beach. Freaking tell you, this lockdown is doing my freaking head in. Everyone, look at me. I'm getting older. I did Cheltenham yesterday. I had a fiver on a horse that won at 10-1. I'm shouting it through. Oh no, that was the other way. And Sue said to me the other day, she says, it won't go any faster.
They can't hear you.
They can't hear me, she said. As if I'm freaking bothered. I mean, Dave Taylor, just please, will you tell her how wonderful it is standing watching your horses jumping up and down, screaming for them to win? Please, could somebody explain to my darling wife, who works in the bookies? You think she'd see it every freaking day?
I do.
With right, she does. So she said, I didn't want you to be a lunatic as well. She wanted me to sit there with my thumb in my mouth, biting my nails. I enjoyed Cheltenham.
Peter
Taylor, sorry, not David Taylor.
Peter Taylor said, how can we get these test 2 videos in? Because it is Cheltenham, by the way.
I know. That's the whole point. I'm sitting there and it's going ping pong, ping, ping, pong, pong, pong. It's better than sex. Exactly, Peter. Watching a horse. I mean, there was some. Wasn't it wonderful? Who was it who won the old timer? Yesterday, not today. Vintage Cloud. Did you see it, Peter? Did you see Vintage Cloud? Brilliant. 28-1. Wasn't it fantastic? You know, he'd been there 5 times, and then he won it like that. Didn't he win it well? It was fantastic to watch. That's the dangerous thing about gambling, like me gambling, because I love horses that much. Some days, even if I come second, I can still thoroughly enjoy the race and losing money by watching the race and watching a horse win. I mean, some of the favourites that won yesterday, they were just far above everything else. They were stunning, weren't they? But I don't back favourites. You know, I like backing underdogs. That's why I'm backing John Archer to win the competition outright.
On ice.
On ice, Sue said. John Archer's going to win it on ice. So there you go, John. You know, I'm trying to help you.
James Townsend had a
Justin McKenzie says, how can you bite your nails with your thumb in your mouth? Try it. I know some people can give a blowjob at the same time. Thanks for that, says John. John, we're joking with you. We love you, really, John. Okay,
James Townsend, he had a question.
Peter Taylor, hang on. Fucking saw it the first time I had a bet on Over a Moon for Trevor Hemmings. Yeah, who owns it? Yeah, exactly, Peter. And do you know what? I can sit there and I can get emotional watching those horses because I know the commitment, the work, the dedication. You know, it's all right, like slagging off the racing industry when somebody messes up.
Yeah,
but that was exciting. That was exciting to see an outsider, but that horse of that age, 11 years old, and that, you know, how many times have you seen Vintage Cloud in the runs? Not having runs, in the runs. You know, that's what, you know, they say the sport of king is horse racing, don't they? But over the sticks does far more for me than the flat horses. I had a 4-2-1 yesterday. Well done, Barry E. Well done. You didn't give me that one, did you? I see there was an 80-1 winner, wasn't there? Because I didn't watch one of the races at 80. Oh, that was it. Someone was on the phone. Missed the freaking race. What about Little Tiger Roll today? Pity he didn't go to international. Did he win? Did he? Oh shit! I'd love to watch that. Unfortunately, I never watched any Cheltenham today. I came back cheesed off, but I didn't get a chance to watch any Cheltenham today. Oh, Tiger Roll won, did he? Well done. Yeah. I couldn't afford. I couldn't afford him. I tried. His price was too high.
Didn't the lady do well yesterday?
The girlie, the girlie did well as well, didn't it? Eh? And she rode it well, didn't she? She produced it beautiful. That's the whole point about racing, isn't it? It's fantastic, isn't it? That even when you see people like that, oh, I forgot her name now. Ladies' Day tomorrow. Yeah, I enjoy Ladies' Day at Cheltenham. That's where I normally go up. If I'm going up for the meeting, I normally go up Ladies' Day because you get double value for money then, don't you? You see all the frocks, all the fillies. And do you know what? When you've got a big lens like I've got, and you should know that, Paul Jarvis, being a cameraman, you know, when you bring out your big lens, they think they think you're paparazzi, and they all smile for you and they give you all sorts of gestures. They just love their picture being taken on Ladies' Day in their glamour. And there's something nice about it, isn't there? Until you go to Liverpool Aintree. It's like the Tarts Club, isn't it, really? Stop it. Any scouts is here, they go, you bastard, you bastard, you bastard. Ladies' Day. Yeah, Cheltenham Ladies' Day is bloody posh, isn't it? Bloody posh. It's not like it's not like the flat, but it's still bloody posh, Ladies' Day. But tomorrow there's not going to be too many fucking ladies. This is anybody spot a lady at Cheltenham tomorrow? You're fucking doing well. I mean, I think Sue could go up there and get best dressed.
Cheers.
She could go up there and get youngest filly. I think this wine's going to my head, everyone. Anyway, we've had 42 minutes and we've top totty. That's it. Out. Peter Piper, out like Baywatch, home like Crime Watch at Ladies' Day. Exactly. It's funny though, isn't it? Because how many dogmen I know who love their dogs, they love their horses. You know, she has rode 2 winners today. Rachel Blackmore, Peter Taylor. She actually run 2 today, did she? Bloody hell! Well done to her. Well done to her, eh? She's doing well, isn't she? Is Davy Russell? Is he injured or something? Davy Russell would normally do reasonably well at Cheltenham, doesn't he? I haven't seen him riding anything. Perhaps he's injured. I don't know. Should you drink after the jab? Well, you tell me, Earthbound Pheasant. Are you a freaking doctor? Or an off license? Because if we can, send some beers round. I won't mix it. But funny you said that, Earthbound Pheasant. Funny enough, he's injured, not back into Aintree. There you go. It's funny you said that, Earthbound Pheasant, because I'm feeling slightly flushed. Now, I don't know if that's... When do women get flushed? Is that the menstrual problem? Can you say menstrual these days, the black and white menstruals?
You can say menstrual, but not black and white.
Minstrel, you silly. That was minstrels, not menstrual. That was a pun.
But can we go back to James Townsend's question?
Well, come on then, read it out, Susan, nice and loud.
I genuinely don't know whether you've answered it, but it wasn't the one I had in mind. He said because he forgot the one he was originally going to ask you.
Thank you, Michael McLaughlin. Sod Susan and the questions. Drinking after the jab stops blood clotting. Thank you so much. It thins your blood.
Oh,
Thank
well
you
done.
so much,
Well
Michael.
done.
Top of the morning to you, sir. Top of the morning.
Yeah, because they do say you're not supposed to drink before or after, don't they? But
Oh, shit. Now you tell me, you lot.
right. Should we get back to the question? Michael.
That's the temperature starting, mate. Oh, freaking hell.
You'll be all right until tomorrow.
Go on, carry on. And go on, Susan. She's going to read out a question. Chris is going to zip it until the question. Go for it.
Like I said, I genuinely don't know whether you've actually answered it. Do your dogs chew their kennels? Do you let them? My granddad's Springer's ripped his kennel up back in the day.
Is that it?
That's it.
I find dogs find kennels, ripping kennels, if it's checker plate, quite difficult. I find that if you put wood in kennels, most dogs will rip the shit out of them. They are so destructive, and they will eat nails. They will eat anything they can get in their bloody mouth. So my kennels are a little bit surgical, or clinical, as they would say, not surgical, clinical. Clinical. I'm thinking about the jab now. I'm beginning to feel not very well, everybody. It may be the drink and the jab at the same time. Perhaps I shouldn't have drank.
If the vaccine affects you as it did me, you will be shaking like a...
And shitting like a racing dog tomorrow.
Oh, thanks.
Brilliant. I love it. I love it, Peter. I love it. If I can lose a little bit of weight by having a few extra shites, I'll be over the freaking moon.
Oh, God's sake, will you not shut up, please?
Yeah. I think... Stop it, you lot. You're freaking loving it. Honestly, that might be the best. I might go for a jab in the other arm. She says, which arm do you want it in? I said, I don't give a shit. Just stick it in my arm. But I'm lifting my glass with the arm they stuck it in. This is the arm for doing everything else important.
It'll be tomorrow.
When Sue's not around. Sorry?
It'll be tomorrow.
Why tomorrow?
Well, mine was the next day when my arm started getting sore. Then I felt a bit washed out and a bit headache, and that was it. But then again, I'm a woman, so I mean, it's we just.
I'd like everyone to know that our test secretary Sol and we've mentioned this before. What the hell is Earthbound Pheasant sending me now? Death wish. Death wish. Do you know who needs friends when you've got enemies like you, Earthbound Pheasant?
Well, Ian God said,
take paracetamol before you go to sleep. What's going to happen?
Well, I mean, Ian said, if you have a flush face, so you get the insurance policy out.
They told me within 48 hours after the jab.
There you go, Graham Allison agreed. So what's the next day?
I tell you what, it was amazing, wasn't it? When you think about it, when you talk about Marvelous Agler, and I don't, it could be, but they reckon he had a reaction to the jab. So just imagine that jab killed him, but no one else's did.
Michael McLaughlin says my wife gets headaches all the time. Still waiting on the jab.
Yeah, exactly, Michael. Hey, I could go to bed tonight. Everyone goes, sorry, Sue, not tonight, darling. I've got an headache. Good night. That would shock the shit out of her.
That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. Like I said, I've not felt any effects at all. No effects at all. But if your number's up, your number's up, innit?
Will the ambulance get in the yard?
I just hope that Sol will find this A-panel judge to finish off judging the test.
Ian wants to know whether the ambulance will get
Actually, Ian Gaunt, I'm bringing you in to judge the test. If anything happens to me and I get a blood clot because Earthbound Pheasant says I'm drinking the red wine, I'm thinning it. If anything does happen to me, no one said to me in the freaking doctor's place, when you get home, Mr. Upton, don't do what you normally do and have a drink. They didn't say that at all.
Paul Jarvis says, you better not croak, we need a judge. I'll take over, don't worry.
Freaking, I tell you what, the more she drinks lately, the braver she gets. But it starts about 7 o'clock when she starts drinking, everyone. By 9 o'clock, she take on the world.
I'll just go for the cutest one, don't worry.
Cutest bloke? I've only just died and she's looking for the cutest bloke. I tell you, she's not messing around, is she? I'll just look for the cutest bloke.
Yeah,
But then again, that's a bit sexist, isn't it? Because you should be saying the cutest person, because it could be a woman.
and Denver said, no one said to me, you can't drink.
John, have you been drinking? You can't croak yet. What about the fanny dress? I don't wear a fanny dress. You mean fancy dress? I'm dyslexic. I know you're trying to catch me out, John. I don't wear a fanny dress. You mean a fanny pack?
Oh my God, Karen says, I'll still expect a live feed every Wednesday, so if he kicks the bucket.
Yeah, exactly. She can take over because you go, hello, this is Secret Sue.
I won't be secret any longer.
No, she won't be secret anymore. She'll be up in front of the camera. Won't that be fun for you
Like,
all? You go, no wonder Chris just said, I don't give a shit if I die.
Earthbright Pheasant said, didn't you read the letter?
What letter?
Obviously, telling you all about the...
They gave me a fact sheet. I remember now. I was that busy. I put it in my pocket and just got out. It was. Do you know? I was slightly emotional, like I said, walking around there because of all the people who volunteered. Isn't society nice in some ways? Everybody, if you think about it, you know, I haven't volunteered. Okay, I sit down with people for an hour and a half at night and try and stop them jumping off the doll's house because they got 3 points less than everybody else in the test. But okay, I do help people that way for free. But you reach out for friends, don't you, who are suffering? You know, some people get very down, don't they, when they're not doing so well. Earthbound Pheasant, he's crying now. Jesus Christ, you got these emojis up to a freaking top. Up to. I'd never seen so many high vis helpers. Exactly, Graham Allison. I've never. And do you know what? They were all friendly as well. And me, I am a friendly person if you're friendly with me. If you're not friendly with me, I'm a different bastard. But I am friendly. But I thought to myself, isn't it wonderful that those people volunteered? I mean, they may say volunteer and they're getting paid. I don't know, but I don't think they are.
They're volunteers.
They're volunteers.
You wouldn't be able to do it without...
And I think that, isn't it lovely that people reach out? Because I would reach out if I could. I don't think I could stand around all that time. I don't know if I could. I don't know. Especially with this hot flush that's coming on since they're drinking this wine.
I'd leave the bottle all of it.
Look at me, look. I've took my top. If I take this off as well. Oh my God, Earthbound Pheasant keeps sending me freaking funny pictures. So if he keels over, stick the e-collar on him and turn it up to 100.
Yeah. Shop, bring it back.
Great idea.
I'll think about it.
Christopher said he's doing it. David Jones, Christopher said he's doing it. What, the live feeds? Thank Christ for that, Chris. It will be. Hang on, look. I'll do a side look. Look, is that flushed? Is it as red as the wine?
No, you've been out all day in the cold. You've come into a warm house. You are drinking wine. You are bound to be flushed.
Shall I do my blood pressure, everybody, on live on camera? I got one eye closed now. So I got one eye that's closed. What does that mean?
Well, close the other one and then you'll be blind.
I had a COVID test today. Didn't get knocked because I didn't put the swab up my nose far enough. I thought it goes down the back of your throat.
No, it goes both, doesn't it? Up your nose and down your throat.
Hey, fake tan. Paul Jarvis says fake tan. It does look like a fake tan. Honestly, it looks redder on one side than the other. I think I'm having a stroke. I think I'm having a freaking stroke. It's a stroke too. Exactly. There you go, hey? Hey? He said you could. It could be quite exciting, couldn't it? He said you could news flash. Chris Upton dies of what marvelous Marvin Hagler got.
We don't know what he had.
Well, that's what they're saying. I'm only saying what they're saying. And who was it who said it? Not Sugar Ray Leonard. Was it? No, not Sugar Ray Leonard. Who was it? The other guy who fought him.
Hertford Loft, Small Loft says, geez, it's like a neurotics convention in here tonight. Yep.
Tell me about it. But other than that, you don't have to put the fire on. It's getting warmer. Yeah, it looks like you've fallen into bed under the sun lamp on both sides. Exactly.
It's because you've come in from the cold and you've come into a warm place.
You could be like Tommy Cooper died on camera. He died on stage, didn't he? Yeah. Speech is okay, not a stroke at the moment. Do you know what? When you need a doctor in the house, Dr. Soul's not here, is he? He's fucked off to Cuba. It's just freaking typical, isn't it, when you think about it? Dr. Soul, I've got one lazy eye. You can see that one? It's really lazy. Look, it's actually falling to sleep. You know why? I didn't have a kip tonight, this afternoon, like I normally do, because I felt energetic after my little prick. Can you say that? So Soul's not in the house, so he can't save me. But I'm actually feeling more and more flushed as we talk. Perhaps that's your shooting eye. You'd have to help me on that one, Paul, because I don't close an eye when I shoot.
Kirkwood Loft, Small Loft, Racing Pigeon said, "Hi Chris, tell me about Tribute and Dunbar."
Oh, that could be a touchy subject.
We'll keep off.
Tribute and Dunbar is a touchy subject.
They're nice drinks.
Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to tell you about Tribute and Dunbar for anyone who wasn't listening, because it was on the Corleone Talk. Tribute and Dunbar was two beautiful white pigeons that Soul brought here that he'd bred, and
Soul is Hurtwood Loft.
Yeah, Soul brought them here for me, and I put them in the pigeon loft with the other three I had, and I had 3 in there. No, four of my own, and 2 of Soul's, and I wanted them to breed together, flutter, 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 and produce little babies that we could then train with. So he named them Tribute and Dunbar. I knew that was like really freaking testing fate. Anyway, went down the pigeon loft sort of 4 days after, and one of them had been dragged out of the pigeon loft, and there was only lots and lots of white feathers. So I don't know what got in there, how it got in there, how it dragged it out, but my 4 were fine. And I don't know if that was Tribute or Dunbar. And then we had a client, and we won't mention the client's name, and we had the client turn up for a lesson, and I said to him, he mentioned that he'd been out pigeon shooting with his dog, and I said, did you retrieve any? He says, yeah. Any live ones? He says, yeah, they brought them back lovely, no problem at all. Then I knocked him on the head. So I went and got either Tribute or Dunbar, the one that was left, the white one, and I tucked its little head under its wing, placed it out there, and said, okay, send your dog out for the retrieve. The dog went out there, bounced the bird out, up got the bird, flapped, nailed the bird, brought it back, and all the way back was going crunch, 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 crunch. I thought, oh dear me, not only lost one, we've now lost both of Soul's birds within a week. So Soul didn't contact us for a few weeks, and when he did, I kept thinking, should I mention Dunbar and Tribute? He never asked, so I never mentioned it. And then the other day, on Corleone Talk, it was mentioned. Pigeon pie them. Hardmouth. Yep, I would say hardmouth. Now, you can have a dog that's had too much excitement doing a bit of pigeon shooting, and it's a young dog and it's been a bit like that, and you can get over it to a certain extent, but you can test dogs on birds like that, young dogs, and 95% of the time your dog will bring back that bird without damaging it, and you can put it back in your pigeon loft, no problem at all. Mouth like a crocodile says, no, it wasn't mouth like a crocodile. It wasn't that bad. There wasn't loads of holes in it, but unfortunately. But then again, in the dog's defense, Tribute and Dunbar were very, very thin, because when Soul brought them to me, they both had the shits. Perhaps they'd had the jab and drunk red wine. Tribute and Dunbar drank red wine and had the COVID's jab. Anyway, any questions on here? It just seems like it's just been a listen to Chris waffling tonight, doesn't it? I've heard never start a young dog on pigeons. Is that true? I disagree, James. At the end of the day, Many a young dog, less than 6 months old, I will throw a pigeon out for them, and they'll get it. Then they'll race out and pick it, and it's flapping, and they don't worry about it because they've got no fear. And yet, if you leave it to sort of 12 months old, 13, 14 months old, they reach a stage where dogs go through fear, and so you'll have that. Sometimes the dog will stand off it then because it's not used to it. If you look at a young puppy, it will run into other dogs. It will run into nettles. It's got no fear. It will then learn through the pain to avoid certain situations, but they don't know. But I find that young dogs don't seem to question anything. They just do it. So they'll go and pick a flapping bird and drag it back without thinking about it. But you don't do anything with them for like 12, 13, 14 months, and you give them a flapping pigeon. Some dogs will stand off a flapping pigeon. Simple as that. Hey, there was a dog question there. That's been thinking about the second one all night, isn't it?
Yeah, there's one from Not at the Table's Parlour.
Not at the Table's Parlour. Hang on, Sue's in the background. She's good. She's on the ball, isn't she, tonight, isn't she? She should get a medal. I'll give her a jab, shall I? In the nose. Can I say that? Because she could get all triggered, couldn't she? Chris, if you answer, Chris, if you answer this, you will be all right. What goes over the water and under the water, but never touches the water? Do you know what? I've heard this before. I've heard this before. Someone said this to me before. What goes over the water and under the water, but never touches the water?
Vehicle, car, lorry, bike.
What is she on about?
Well, they go over the water on a bridge, under the water on a tunnel, so they never touch the water, but they go over and above.
Did you see that, everyone? Could we have a round of applause for Susan? Could we have a round of applause for Susan Oil? You don't look well. Tell me about it.
Not at the Table's Callers. What's the answer?
Sue wants to know the answer. Not the Table's Callers. I don't give a shit, but it was good. Go on. Come on, not the tables.
It's gotta be a bridge, a tunnel. Gotta be.
Honestly, she's getting Paul Jarvis.
Paul just got class. Well, am I right?
No, it's VD. Paul Jarvis got VD.
Bridge. Not nice. Nice. Oh, there we go. Sounds good.
Paul Jarvis has got VD, not the clap. Nice, Sue, says Simon Spruce, playing with a tennis racket.
Yeah, but the problem is, and I'll be honest, because that's what I am, I saw the question and I Googled it. It got the answer.
Did you?
Yeah. No flies on me.
Hear that, everyone? Cheating little bastard. I thought, do you know what? I was going to end this live feed and go, well done, Sue. You've really made me. I take everything back what I've ever said about you. You're a genius. You little bugger, isn't she?
Not at the Table's Callers. That was good, Sue, but answer is an egg in a duck's bell. No, Google it. It says vehicle.
A vehicle, agreed.
Yeah,
an egg inside a duck. What the hell are you lot on about? I'm definitely freaking feeling this virus shit now. An egg in a duck.
If you Google it, it says vehicle.
Okay. On
an
that
egg inside a duck. Yeah, but a duck does.
On that note, what we're going to do tonight, for a change, I'm going to let you all talk about me on Corleone Talk. I've had such a long day. I'm going to relax, eat my pavlova, drink the rest of my wine, and hope I don't die tonight. So,
and you should. And Hurtwood Love says, I think you should lift a glass and raise a toast to Tribute and Dunbar and to Dr. Soul.
This is Dr. Soul, our test captain, test secretary. Don't say captain. Don't say captain. Let's give a great big bollocks to Soul for all the work he's done. And thanks everybody for having a go and having a crack at the virtual test. It's been entertaining. It's been fun. And well done to all of you who's had a go at it. I support you. Everybody who's had a go, I take me hat off to you, because you're putting your head above the parapet and you're being shot at. Like Dunbar and Tribute. But at least you're not having somebody with a hard mouth grab hold of you. Like I said, Cuba must be really nice. He must be really enjoying himself. By the way, okay, just give me a second, everybody. As I've been told that I could die tonight and have a blood clot, I've decided to take a chance. I'm going to stand outside. I'm going to look at the stars, howl at the moon, work out my horses for tomorrow at Cheltenham. If the phone rings, I'm not answering it. If the phone pings, I'm not answering it. I'm having 4 hours off watching Cheltenham. If Sue kicks off, she's in the freaking caravan. And I'm going to smoke a beautiful cigar because I can't afford to go to Cuba. I'm definitely getting redder. Look at that freaking picture. Oh no, it's the camera shot. Look at that. Jesus, thank God for that. Look at that, look. See that? It's like having a free. See? Do you see that, everyone? It looks like I farted, doesn't it? Look. Hey, these cigars do really good for your suntan. Watch. Look at that. Is it that light up there? Oh. Look at my arms. They're not red. They're lily white. Good night, everyone. Chris Upton signing off. Well done, Sue. I can't believe you Googled it. I thought you were getting more intelligent as you got older. Good night, everyone. If anyone's going over to Corleone Talk, have a good time.
Peter Taylor says Blinkley tomorrow each way.
Blinkley. You hear that, everyone? Blinkley tomorrow each way. If everybody got on Blinkley tomorrow, if it didn't win on Sunday, we could take the piss out of Peter Taylor. All right. So there you go. Have a good one. Good night from Norway. Good night, Norway. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Chris Upton signing off.